This is the Real Change Wilmington Podcast, episode 55. Get to know your local butcher at Rich Family Meats with our guests today, Steve and Chad Rich.
What makes a great thing is to do something you love, something you enjoy. I love having my family here together. I love being able to take the skills, abilities that I've been fortunate enough to acquire from my father, pass them on to my son and my grandchildren. And I think that's the greatest thing about it.
What is going on, everyone? This is your host of the Real Change Wilmington Podcast, Dustin Pierce. Real Change is a positive, constructive, and lighthearted source of local news events and resources. And on our podcast, we interview leaders of local organizations to help squash rumors and encourage a greater sense of pride in our community. We have a really fun episode for you guys today with father and son, Steve and Chad Rich, over at Rich Family Meats in Port William. So a little bit of background before we jump into things. Steve grew up in the meatpacking industry, worked for different companies and corporate change and so forth, and he learned the skills from his father. Then about 3 years ago, he purchased the meat shop in Port William, and now today he gets to pass the skills he's learned growing up down to his son, Chad, who manages the business. So Rich Family Meats offers a few different things. They have a retail store you can go and visit. They do wholesale, so they sell to different restaurants and festivals in the area. They offer catering, custom butchering, including deer meat. And then in 2025, they're going to launch an online store where you can buy meats delivery. Now, if you've never been to Rich Family Meats before, you might have still tried their meats if you've been to the Clinton County Corn Festival and had the burgers or sausage burgers at the Lions booth, which are hands down one of my favorite things at the Corn Festival. They also sell their meat at places like Lumberton General Store, which is where I get my breakfast about every day because that place is totally amazing. So Rich Family Meats is definitely a lot of places in the community, and there's a lot of ways that you can try what they have to offer. On the podcast, we'll talk about how they're able to sustain a small business in Port William, which is already a small town, and what sets them apart from other larger retail chains like Kroger and so forth. Steve also shares how all this meat is vacuum packed to help it stay fresher longer, and then how all their meat is choice. Steve's also the pastor of a local church, Jamestown Church of Christ, and he talks about how his blue-collar background helps him to be a better pastor to those he leads at his church. What I love about this podcast, and what I think you're going to enjoy too, is how Steve loves that he gets to work with his family on a day-to-day basis, that he loves that he gets to use the skills that he's learned from his father, and he loves that he gets to support his community, not just his customers, but people who are in need of help. One disclaimer before we get into the podcast is that the audio is a bit choppier than most of our episodes because we had to record on site at Rich Family Meats in order to accommodate Steve and Chad's schedule. So if you ever get to visit Rich Family Meats, you're going to hear some of the same noises that you hear throughout the podcast. And I am talking a bit louder than usual, and that's simply so you can hear what I'm saying. Unfortunately, though, some of the audio, especially from Chad, was undistinguishable and had to get cut. It is what it is, just keeping it real on the Real Change Wilmington podcast. But still, I think you're going to enjoy hearing things that Steve and Chad had to say and get to know more about this local butcher shop in Port William. So without further ado, let's bring in Steve and Chad and get the podcast started. So Steve and Chad, welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for hosting today.
Thank you.
So we want to get to know more about Rich Family Meats, but first we want to ask about you. So kind of tell us where you're from and how you got here in Clinton County.
Very good. Well, I grew up in the Jamestown, Ohio area, and my family owned a meat packing plant in Mount Vernon, Ohio for my growing up years. Later on, I worked for many different groups, meat packing houses, Kroger, all kinds of different grocery store chains. And eventually I ended up in this area and was offered the opportunity to get back into the business again. And so we purchased this business off of Dr. Kevin Sherritt, his family, about 3 years ago.
Okay. So you said your father was in this industry before?
Yes.
And you were kind of in this, but in corporate world, right? Or...
Yes. I grew up in this business and have dabbled in it all these years. And then, like I said, 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to buy this. And so my son, Chad, here and I, along with my wife and family, decided that we would buy it. And so that's how we got being.
Very cool. Your wife set this meeting up. So typically we ask, are you married? Do you have kids? And what do they do?
Yes. Obviously, I'm married to my wife, Marcia. And we've been married for 40 years, going toward 42.
Congrats.
And then we have 2 sons. And my son, Chad, who's here with me in the podcast, And he's 39 and runs operations here. He's married. His wife's a nurse. He has 2 sons, Charlie and Will. And then we have our youngest son, Tyler, who's 37. And he actually is office manager for Kevin Health Network. He works directly for Sharon. And if you go into his office, you'll probably meet Tyler. Then he's married to Brooke. She's a teacher at Greenview. And then they have 3 children, our grandchildren. So they have 8 James.
Nice. And do you live in Port William?
No, we live in Jamestown.
Okay.
Just outside Jamestown.
Okay. Do you have farm animals, hogs that you also butcher?
No, I do not.
So outside of running a business, what do you do for fun? What are some of your hobbies?
We don't have. We work. Yeah. We work. Well, I have also, along with this business, been in the ministry for 40 years. And so I'm currently the senior minister at the Jamestown Church of Christ in Jamestown, a smaller congregation, 300, 350 on Sunday morning. But I've been in the ministry for all these years and ministered in Kentucky, Arizona, Florida. So I've been second years.
Nice. I know that there's like different types of Church of Christ, apparently. There's like instrumental and non-instrumental. Which one are you?
Well,
is that true?
There's the fiddler and the non-fiddler. We say.
Okay.
But we're out of the fiddler. We are instrumental.
Okay. I am friends with the pastor of the Wilmington Church of Christ.
Same.
Okay. Very cool. Last question about you personally. So what's a defining moment of your life that's helped make you who you are or shape your personality and values?
I would say my conversion to work was the greatest shaping event in my life. And it changed the way I live my life. And really everything I've done since then is governed by treat others. I try to be fair. I try to be honest. I'm not perfect. But when I would say for myself, that's probably if I.
How old were you when that happened? What were the circumstances around that?
I was, I had met my wife and we were dating. She'd grown up in church and I hadn't. And I had lived, let's just say, on the other side of the tracks until I met her. And then her family had decided I was going to get into ministry. And so I left. I went to seminary and 4 years ago.
I know of a lot of pastors and good pastors who converted at an older age and have like experience not being a Christian. That's helped you be a pastor to people who aren't Christian.
Well, let me say, first of all, I wouldn't recommend waiting to accept the Lord until you're done sowing your loads. Let me have bad experiences so I could be a good preacher.
No, sure.
But I think that those things naturally happen. And I think probably the biggest advantage or the hallmark of my ministry and my life as a minister has been the fact that I did not grow up in church. My family were not Christians. I led them to Christ. Probably that fact played a huge part. And then the fact that I grew up working in a meatpacking plant, so I knew what it was to work. I had a blue-collar background. And I think that's been a big advantage and blessing to me throughout the years, is having that, knowing what it is to get your hands dirty, knowing what it is to work, and then being able to relate that to the folks I'm trying to talk to.
Yeah. So what is your role besides being the owner? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Whatever my son tells me. No, pretty much I own the company, and my son Chad here is the manager of the company, and so he takes care of the day-to-day operations. Then I'm here to help out around the edges, so to speak.
I saw on your website that you guys like offer 3 main things. You have your retail, your catering, and then your custom butchering. Yeah,
we actually have several dimensions to our business. One is fuel more, as you said, we have a custom aspect of business, and that is farmers own hogs and own beef, and they contract with us to butcher those beef and cut it up for them. And then we have a retail aspect of the business, which is we have fresh meat cases here and frozen meat cases. We also carry the raw fresh meat product, which is real popular. And then we have a wholesale aspect of the business. And the wholesale aspect is we provide several restaurants with different products that they need for their operations. And then we also do beginning here at the end of September, we do a deer business. So we process deer here, make all types of Chad makes all kinds of snack sticks and summer sausages and those stuff. So there's several different dimensions to the business, and we're getting ready, in fact, after the first of the year, to go online. And so you'll be able to click those things. And nice. You can pick up a week in the neighbors.
Is that something you guys are managing yourself, or is it through like a third-party software?
No, that's pretty much us, managing ourselves.
Okay. So you said you do some wholesale. I know that you are at Lumberton General Store.
Yes.
Where else can people find your meat?
We're also in Jamestown, Ohio, at the grocery store there in town, and we sell product there. And then we do a lot of fairs, festivals, and those types of things. A lot of those businesses buy the products and offer us to sell. Atlas Dustin was one the really great customer of ours is Talent Association, Green County. We furnish a lot of meat for their booth at the fair.
The Lions Club that have pulled away and moved so many, they run wearing salsa plans.
Did they use those for the corn festival?
They did. They bought 1,200 hamburger and 500 salsa.
Those are like the best burgers at the corn festival. I had like a few of those when I was there, and I said, Rich family meats. I was like, I'm gonna interview those guys here soon. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your sausage burgers are amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
So I see you guys carry a lot of Walnut Creek. Can you talk about what that is exactly?
We have a truck that we get once every couple of weeks here, but we buy products straight out of the Amish country. And so we carry the Amish products. We carry the jellies, the jams, the butters, the salsas. We carry some of the frozen, we call it the bread mushrooms. We carry pies, cakes, just a variation.
So does Walnut Creek also provide your meat, or where do you get your meat?
Some of our meat, we sell a lot of freezer beef. So you sell half beef, quarter beef, whole beef, and that's all locally raised, locally grown by an area farmer. We also sell hogs in the same way. And then we have the supplier out of Northern Ohio that we buy some of our supplements from. So we cover a variation. Some of the stuff we sell here is grown locally raised, locally grown. Some of it is grown and provided other hard supply. It's really gets very dry.
So one of my employees buys meat here, and they said it's like way better than store-bought meat. In your mind, like how does it compare to like something you buy at the grocery shop store?
Well, I mean, I don't have any interest in downing anybody else.
No.
Yeah, our meats are fresh. We do everything right here on the site. So we cut them fresh around here. We also vacuum package all of our meats, even our fresh meat, which gives them a longer shelf. And also, this protects that freshness. And a lot of your grocery stores are beginning to do that. Some don't do that. But I think that helps. But then if you don't sell anything less than choice, so all of our meats, everything we sell is choice, with the exception of 1 or 2 items. So that helps. Our motto is we wouldn't let your family eat it in our family.
Nice. How long does freezer meat last for?
We vacuum package all our meats again. And they're frozen. They can have a year at least, but stretching out as far as 3-4 years. I mean,
okay.
I've read different articles, there's different ideas. They'll keep a long time.
How do you know if it's still fresh, if it's been frozen for a while?
Well, obviously, you always have the smell test.
Yeah.
You get it out, don't let it fall out, and take a sniff of it. And then also, I think, I'll just take a look at the product and see what kind of bloom the meat has. Is it red, or is that a grayish color to it? Those types of bacteria. I find that most people need to do a lot of cooking and pretty adept at figuring it out.
Okay. So I heard that there's some significance to your logo. Is that true? Do the stars mean something, or is that?
You'll have to ask my son about that. Me too.
I tried too hard on it. I was like 17 stars. I was 17th state. And then the lady that actually made the banner for the festival, she put 16 on it because it balanced it out like that. So it's a work in progress.
It's really cool though.
Oh, you like it? Good.
Yeah, it's like American flag with like nice. Let's get cooler than that.
And then more American.
And that's kind of the direction the country seems to be heading.
So what are some of the challenges you faced as a small business owner, and how have you grown as you've overcome these?
We bought this business off of Dr. Shera, and let me just say, he's been wonderful through the whole process. He's encouraged us, stood beside us, and just been a great blessing to us. But there were a lot of things that needed renovated, a lot of things needed done, which we were aware of going into this. So we had to start and sort of get ourselves brought up to the place where we needed to be. So that was kind of a challenge. And I think just trying to help is certainly a challenge. We could always use somebody to come in and workforce, but it's so difficult to find people that seem to commit to it. So that's a challenge. And I think trying to figure out what your niche is, trying to figure out what is it that we can offer that's going to be something people are going to need. And obviously, we're not here to put further out business. I mean, we would be kidding ourselves. We're here to find a niche where people can find something special that maybe they can't find somewhere else. And so that's been sort of a challenge, is trying to figure out where those areas are.
Yeah. What are some things that you've added since you purchased the business?
Well, we've added a lot. We've added more freezer product, multiple freezer cases. I mean, we have increased our custom business probably several times. We have extended our fresh meat operations and our Greek operation as well.
What made you decide to purchase this business in Fort William? Because Fort William's a pretty small area.
Well,
how do you make that successful?
It is, but I like to joke around and say that Fort William is a geographic center of the universe. So I like to say there's a lot of wonderful people here in Fort William, and small towns like this, or I like them. The opportunity was here as well, and also this area is growing. Continent LG is putting a new plant up the road here. That's going to bring, I believe they've saved 12,500 jobs to the area initially, or family people in the area initially. So this area is getting ready to grow, and I look for places like Fort William to grow as well. And I think also with the technology of today and being able to do the online shopping and those types of things, it kind of makes the brick and mortar locations less important. And so we could do this business from Fort William, or we could do this from Williamsport. I mean, as long as we have a product. My son Chad here is in the process right now of developing my business to the point where we can actually go across state lines. I'll let him tell you about that, Chad.
Yeah, so we're state inspected right now. We'd like to do federally. This means that we can really good video sell outside the state of Ohio. We got a company community down in Kentucky and a small community, but we got a place down there in my son anything. So
is it like another grocery store or restaurant?
just like a little storefront. Because people place down there that I could trust to put there, run the cash register. We could put everything up here. We have a freezer box truck. We could take it down there. They could sell it run.
Nice.
But we can also get into, like on the whole steaks, we can also get into that aspect of the business, and we can sell our product online and ship it out with this new license. Chad's process of story.
Nice. So thanks for talking about the challenges, but what are some of the achievements that you're most proud of? Like things that you've been able to accomplish, like serving the customer, growing the business?
I'll let Chad start with that. Go ahead, Chad.
Other than knock that finger off yet. The business has grown, and this is our third year. And from January the first year until now, I gave a percent on how much it's grown, but the retail has picked up tremendously. Like you said, we're in festivals, and you had the burger, you liked it.
Yeah.
And, that just means a lot. Is we try to put a good product out there.
Something else that was very important to my wife and I in purchasing is number one. We would never purchase this business had Chad here not have wanted to get into business on his own. He was really the driving force for that. Chad's got an entrepreneurial type spirit, and we wanted to see him be able to, be able to think out the work. But also something else that's been important to us is our family is very family oriented. My wife still does family dinners every other week. We have all the boys, the grandkids, the daughters-in-law, and our son Chad works here. But we have 5 grandchildren, and 3 out of 5 live now. 2 of them, 1 10 and 1 11, run the cash register, stock the shelves, waiting the customers. And so for us, for my wife and I, we need to turn it off, and we need to pay bills. But for us, having a family together with us and having something that we can do together, teaching our grandchildren how to count money back, how to handle customers, and then seeing, our son here and our other son who comes up, seeing them grow in their skills and their abilities, and then being blown away by some of the knowledge and ideas that Chad has. And that's fun. I like that. That's probably my funnest part of this.
That's funny you say that. I interviewed Wheelie's Bike Shop in Wilmington recently, and they wanted the bike shop for Wilmington, and their kids also work there now under like their managers and stuff. And one of like the unexpected benefits of them opening this bike shop is being able to see their kids grow and gain skills. So last question about the business is just, what are some stigmas or rumors that are out in the community that you've heard that have made you laugh that aren't necessarily true, that you'd want to just address? It could be about the business or the industry in general.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about what other people think. Look, as long as my heart is right with my Lord, as long as my heart is right with my family, I figure those things are yeah. So, and I figure if you have people, I don't know if that's a problem because I've never heard it be a problem, but if you have people that are spreading something or saying something that's untrue or unkind, I find that usually comes on to limits to them. I'm not going to waste my time and energy to try to address some of these. But I don't know anything. Folks are wind and wonderful. Everybody had business with them, my business associates. Everybody's been really great.
It's a good perspective, I think. There's a famous quote, I don't know what it is exactly, the full quote, but it's like, it's not the critic that matters. It's the person that's in the fight. So,
yeah.
All right. What keeps you passionate about what you do and why is this important for the community? Obviously, getting up every day and having a small business is tough. There's challenges. So what keeps you going?
I would say what I said earlier, which is the customers. Well, one thing is the customer. I really enjoy the customers. We've got our regulars that come in, and they always got something kind to say. You yourself came in and talked about how great the burgers you had in the day. And there's a feeling of pride and accomplishment of that. I decided a long time ago that I had to. You got to make a decision in your life what's going to be important to you. And money is a great tool, but it makes a lousy guy. What makes a great thing is to do something you love, something you enjoy. I love having my family here together. I love being able to take the skills, abilities that I've been fortunate enough to acquire from my father, pass them on to my son and my grandchildren. And I think that's the greatest thing about it for me. And having something that, we can help others. We try to support different situations. Folks will come in and they need help. We do a lot of work, food pantries, those types of things. But I think there's a lot of satisfaction in those things too.
Chad, what keeps you passionate about this?
Yeah, the food on the table. No, I enjoy the customers coming in getting it out.
What were you doing before this?
I was working for the county, just in the water soup, just billing. And, I don't know. I don't like to be. I'm not a 9 to 5 person. So here I'll come in sometimes 6 o'clock, 6:30, stay up on whatever.
Yeah. There's a funny quote about like entrepreneurs, they give up like an 8-hour day to have a 16-hour day.
Yeah, that's true.
Just different hours, I guess.
Yes.
All right. I like this question. What is a quote or piece of wisdom that's helped guide you that you would like to share with other people?
No, what's your quote about sweating? Oh, that's probably my favorite quote. Is a quote he says. I don't know if it's his or
No, I got it somewhere else. It's don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweating pets. Yeah, it's that quote.
I don't know. I'm a stress. There's a lot of stress out about stuff, and I try to remember that. It helps to calm me down. Actually, let my life first. Put that on, calm down. Well, that's the way you got to be.
I think for me, probably the quote that probably defines my life that is besides the scripture, and I think it's scripturally based, is this. You can get anything you want out of life as long as you help other people get what they want. And I believe that to be true, and I found that to be true in my 62 years.
62 years? You don't seem 62. You seem younger.
I love you.
All right. Last question. what's a positive, real change that you would like to see in our local community?
I would really love to see the local community be able to find some sort of grant that would allow for improvements to be made. I think Fort William's a wonderful place, wonderful people, has so much to offer, but there's a need for water and sewer advancements here. There's a need for different things that are going to shape and make a community. And the folks in this community have been working hard. They could have farmed you down the street. They've really tried hard. But I would love to see them be able to do more. I know they want to do. And so that would be one of my hopes is that, they get accomplished.
Did they recently get a grant to redo the street?
Yes.
Pave the street?
Yes, they did out front. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The folks here in charge that are trying to help, they're doing all they can. And I would love to see some grant monies or some government monies be funneled to this community so that we can have new water, new sewer, and the people of the community wouldn't be burnt with LODA because that's expensive organization. So those types of things, infrastructure, because I think Fort William could really be, it's a nice place now, and I think it could be really a beautiful little quaint hamlet, if you will.
Yeah. I assume those things would help future infrastructure, especially with the people coming to the Honda plan.
Right. It's another thing too.
Anything else you want to share before we wrap up the podcast about the business or?
No, I can't believe it.
All right. Well, how can people get in touch with you?
There's a phone number. We do. We have a lady that wants us to Facebook account for us, so you can always send a message out that way. I personally don't have Facebook, so I don't know how to get on that. But she manages it. She lets me know. She'll send me a text message, and then I think it's possible to get on. I'd say the best way is to either come in or just call the phone shop.
What are your general hours?
9 to 4:30, Tuesday through Friday, Saturday through 9.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that's it for our podcast today, folks. I hope you enjoyed our interview with father and son, Steve and Chad Rich, over at Rich Family Meats in Port William. If you have any more questions for them, please feel free to reach out to them directly, or better yet, visit their shop and try some of their meat. If they'll talk to us dorks, they'll certainly talk to you as well, because after all, we are a community of empowered individuals. If you want to get in touch with Real Change Wilmington, you can visit our website, realchangewilmington.com, visit our Facebook and Instagram pages, or grab a free copy of our local newspaper at Kroger, Sam's Meat, and Fiesta Veracruz. We also currently send our newspaper direct mail to over 2,500 Wilmington residents. So if you want to help us cover our printing costs and advertise your local business, event, or job posting, please email us at advertise@realchangewilmington.com. With that, I'm your host, Dustin Pierce. Keep it real, Wilmington.